now listening to Chalk Talk by the fan, for the fan.
Last episode, going over Game 1 of the St. Louis series, and so we're going to start with Game 2 of the St. Louis series and go right into today's game against the Diamondbacks. So let's go ahead, get right into it. Game 2 against the Cardinals, Blewett making his Atlanta Braves debut. Got 3 innings out of him, giving up 4 hits. One of those hits being a home run. Gave up 2 runs, 2 walks, and 1 K.
I mean, he really is a bullpen guy.
Yeah.
Stepping up into a starter role.
Yeah.
Because of, obviously, Strider went back on the IL, so somebody had to fill in at the starter role. I'm not upset with his start because he is a bullpen guy, and it was a bullpen game.
Yeah.
That being said, though, it wasn't our best game out of our bullpen.
No. We've actually bragged on them right much this year, and that's something that I don't think a lot of people have done, and we're gonna get into all that later on in the episode. But I mean, like you said, he is a bullpen guy, and I really think he's gonna help us as the year goes on. He did get, what was it, an inning or 2 the other day? Was it Friday?
Yes. I believe he threw an inning. Yes, it was Friday.
I think it was Friday. Yeah, he looked good there. I don't think he looked bad in the game he started against the Cardinals. I mean, sometimes you just get hit. I mean, that's baseball. You're a major league pitcher throwing against major league hitters. Sometimes you just get hit. And even with that being said, it's not like he threw terrible. No. I mean, he allowed 6 base runners in those 3 innings. So for that game, that's roughly a 2.0 whip. But it is what it is. Don't think he threw terrible. The offense collected 8 hits with 6 walks, so we had 14 base runners in that game.
Yeah, we did take the L in that game, by the way, 4-10 loss.
Yeah, that was that hurt. That hurt because
that
was a 4-4 game going into the 8th, and the Cardinals put up a 3 spot in the 8th and the 9th inning. So that's where the win really came for them, was in the last 2 innings of the game. But I mean, we had 14 base runners, so we had plenty of opportunities to get some runs on the board. But we only went 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's just been our MO of the season. We talked a lot last episode how they were doing better, and they had been doing better. And I think they heard us talking about it, the bullpen and hitting with runners in scoring position while we recorded that episode watching the last game.
Yep.
And they said, well, we're just going to make liars out of y'all.
Yeah. And 10 runners being left on base in that game, mind you. Austin Riley had a great game. He went 3 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. Olsen and Sean Murphy both went deep. I feel like I say that every other day about Sean Murphy.
They basically do. He's right now, with how he's hitting, he is on track to hit 67 homers this season.
There's nothing I'd love to see more than that.
Because he is averaging, as of right now, 1 home run every other game.
Every other game. I'll take that. I think anybody will take that.
Yeah.
But even after Blewett going 3 innings, the bullpen gave up 6 runs. Now, like we just said, those 6 runs were in the last 2 innings of the game. So they were throwing well.
They did throw 3 scoreless.
Yeah, I mean they got through the 4th, 5th, and 6th. They went 4 scoreless.
Oh yeah, 4 scoreless.
Yeah, 4 scoreless.
That's
4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, scoreless. So, I think the Cardinals just got the best of our bullpen that game.
And the guy we did throw in the 9th inning was the guy's very first Major League appearance.
Yeah.
He'd been a lifelong AAA guy, and he came up and he just got shelled. There's no easy way to say it.
Yeah.
He got shelled.
And I feel like the more you watch baseball and the more you see these guys come in and make their debuts, whether it's a starter or a reliever, it always feels like they either go out there and they just get hit and give up some runs, or they go out there and they throw 5 no-hit innings. It's like no one ever in their debut goes out there and just throws a decent, pretty good game. It's always very good or very bad. But the Cardinals just got the best of the pitching staff overall, in Game 2. Took the L 4-10.
Yeah, I did. I felt bad for a while after the fact. They showed his face in the dugout. You could tell on his face he knew that what was coming the next morning,
Yep.
especially in the merry-go-round that has been the Braves' call-ups and options this
Yeah.
year. I mean, it
Yeah.
feels like every day we're getting an update. Someone's been called up and someone's been optioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a merry-go-round.
Yeah. Yep. But taking the L in Game 2, that didn't hurt us too bad because we came back in Game 3
Got the series win.
and got the series win, and that's what matters. That's what we've been talking about since the 0-7 start to begin the season. You can't look at it and say, okay, now I've got to win 7 straight games to get back to 500. You just got to win the series. That's what we've been talking about, and that's what they've done lately. They've won the last 3 series. You just got to win the series. No matter if it's 2-1 or 3-0. Just win the series, just get closer to 500 ball, and then just take off. The Game 3, we had Bryce Elder on the mound. He went 6 innings, allowing 5 hits, giving up only 1 run, 3 walks, 2 Ks. That was very, very pleasing to see out of him.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. With his starts he's had this year,
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of them starts where I think it was more of a, okay, Strider's coming back, and obviously we're trying to make some moves here. So he's trying to prove that he needs to stick around for the 5-man rotation, and we don't need to look and shop other options because hopefully Strider's going to be coming back soon.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's going to be our 5th rotation guy. And if he's not doing his part, I'm not afraid to shop
Nah.
and try to get another 5th guy.
Whether it's move him to the bullpen, put him back down in AAA, it doesn't matter if he's not producing. He's not producing. But in Game 3, he produced.
He did, and we'll see tomorrow night if he keeps it going or not.
Yep.
But the offense did do a lot better in that game. They racked up 11 hits, 2 walks, 2 for 7 runners in scoring position with only 8 left on base. It was only a 4-1 win, but Eli White, he come through that new torpedo bat that he's been swinging. He hit his first career home run, a huge home run to be exact, a 3-run shot in the 8th to give the Braves the 4-1 win. And he's been doing great.
Yeah.
He's been in these last couple of games, ever since the whole Kelnick situation.
Yep.
I think that they finally did handle it in-house.
Yeah.
And I think Snitker has put him aside and let Eli White get some starts. And I think Eli White has taken advantage of that opportunity because he is raped.
Yeah. And when you're a role player like that, that's all you can do. All you can do is just sit back, do your job that you're supposed to do, and then when your time comes to show what you've got, you just got to make the most of that opportunity, and that's exactly what he's done. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier about when Kelnick had that streak of he was seeing the ball well, and even when he wasn't getting hits, he was getting on base. He was getting walked a lot, so we were kind of bragging on him a little bit for how well he was seeing the ball. But now Eli White has stepped in, and he's done well, and he's gotten hits, and he's gotten some big RBIs. So, I mean, the role guys in the right field platoon right now for the Braves, I think they have pretty much done about as well as you could ask.
I agree. They've really done what they can do. And I really think, that they think that they may have a shot to stay in the starting lineup when Acuna comes back. And we'll see, because obviously Acuna's Acuna.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest players in the game right now.
Yep.
When he's healthy.
Right.
But we'll see. These guys are out there that when they're getting their opportunities, they're fighting to let it be known that they want to be here.
That's
they
right.
want to play ball.
That's right. And Eli White had that big home run in the 8th in Game 3 against St. Louis, but he didn't stop there. Friday night, Game 1 in Arizona, him and Austin Riley both had 2 hits, both had 2 RBIs. We had Chris Sale on the mound Friday, and he looked better. I still wouldn't say that he's the Chris Sale we know, the Chris Sale that everybody knows and has known for probably the last decade.
I agree.
But he still went out there and he battled. I mean,
He
his pitch count got a little high on Friday, but he still worked tirelessly. And you could tell he was really wanting to get through that fifth inning to be eligible to get his first win of the year. And that's what he did. You know, he went exactly 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned run. That 1 earned run, it looks really, really good. But I think if he kept his pitch count lower than what it was, I think we could have seen him go through a 6th, maybe into the 7th. Maybe not through the 7th, but at least into the 7th. But he worked really hard, so he definitely earned that win, and that's got to be a confidence booster for him.
For sure. Sale, I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. We have kind of picked him apart this year a little bit. It's to be expected.
Yeah.
A reigning Cy Young Triple Crown winner.
Yep.
But Friday night's game did give me hope.
Yeah.
That Chris Sale can get it started.
Yeah.
And get it back on track. But still, there's something off with him. And I don't know if it's just his spin rate or if he's got just a little bit of lack of control, if he's coming through a different arm slot or something.
Well, he has changed his arm slot. I don't know which one it is, so don't hold me to it, but he was either at an 11-degree arm slot last year and went to a 7-degree, or the other way around, a 7-degree to an 11-degree. I don't know which one it was, but I do know they were talking about that the other night. And so he is throwing a little differently at a little bit of a different angle this year.
And I think that has become a detriment to his slider.
Yes.
Because his slider, one of the best punch-out pitches in the game, is now one of the easiest hit balls in the game.
Yep. And I really hate to say that because, like you said, that is one of his best pitches. That is one of the best pitches in the entire game. And right now, that's the pitch that is being hit the most.
It really is.
And
so, like I said, it gives me hope for what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope whatever that he's just got a little bit off that he can clean up and just get it back right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think it's coming. I think even though he's up in age, for the game. I mean, he's 36 years old. I don't think he's done. I don't think we're seeing him, become, lose everything he's got. I think he's still going to throw well. I think he's just got to find it. I think at his age, it just might not be quite as easy for somebody that's in their mid to late 20s, that's in their prime. I think he's just got to get in the groove and just keep on going into May, have some good starts, going into June, blah, 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 and keep on going. But he pitched well on Friday. Offense did very well. We had 11 hits, scoring 8 runs, getting 5 walks. We're 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position, with 8 left on base. So another stat for Friday's game was we didn't hit a single home run. And this was something me and you were talking about Friday.
Oh, that
was
huge.
How we were we were glad that we were obviously scoring more runs in the last couple of weeks, but we've been hitting.
We were one-trick pony.
Yeah, we've been hitting a lot of home runs, which, I mean, if it's a run, it's a run.
Yeah, a run's a run.
But when you're not hitting those home runs, you've still got to be able to score runs in different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Friday night, we saw it.
We finally did.
We saw everything but a home run. Most importantly, that 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position, that's huge.
That's getting back on track to what we've been doing in the past. Even though we didn't win either of those series, we were getting back on track to scoring more runs and giving ourselves in the opportunities when we had, taking advantage of those opportunities to get runs across the plate, get runs on the board.
That's right. That's right.
The bullpen went back to doing what the bullpen does. They only allowed 5 total base runners, 4 innings pitched, 3 free passes, 2 hits, and 1 run or 1 run allowed.
Yep. So that was a big. Friday was a good game. Offense played well.
But I will say that 1 run allowed was Jesse Chavez in his first game back after his whole scenario he's been through this season.
He gave up the 1 run, and he actually gave up the 2 hits that the bullpen allowed.
Yeah.
And I believe he had 1 walk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not his best outing, but we know how Jesse can throw. I think he was probably last year, in my opinion, robbed of an all-star bid.
Oh, he definitely was.
I mean, he's been very good for the Braves for the last few years, and he is one of those guys that, yes, he is older, but he can still throw. You're not going to see that all the time. So if it's working, keep going with it. So we definitely expect him to get some innings and get some opportunities in some big games this year and throw well for the Braves.
I agree. That's, like I said, it was him that gave it up, but it was his first game back, so we're going to let that slide.
Yeah.
Bullpen, did what it does, basically. The rest of the bullpen did what it needed to do. No runs allowed. It's what you want out of your bullpen.
That's right.
Moving on into Game 2, Grant Holmes, we've been singing his praises. He didn't have his best game.
No.
He didn't. He went 5 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 free passes, and 4 strikeouts, and 3 home runs allowed.
Yeah, well, and let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Suarez for Arizona hit 4 home runs in Saturday's game.
Yeah.
That's only the 19th time in the history of the MLB that has ever been accomplished. So, congrats to him. That's a big achievement. That's an awesome club to be a part of. So he had a great game. He was seeing the ball well. And it seemed like every single home run looked the exact same.
Oh, they were new.
We'll
give him his flowers. He was seeing it. He was hitting it well.
He hit it great. And 3 of his 4 home runs were off of Holmes.
Yes.
Well, Holmes gave up 5 hits.
Yes.
Well, 3 of those 5 were those 3 home runs. So, I mean, when you look at Holmes' stat line for
it doesn't look great.
Saturday, it doesn't look great, but at the same time, what did he do against the rest of the lineup?
He shut him down for the most
He shut
part.
him down. He gave up 2 hits, one of those being the 2 RBI hit, and then the rest were the home runs on Suarez. I mean, he gave up 2 solo bombs, a 2-run home run, and a 2 RBI base hit. So it was, like I just said, his stat line for yesterday's game looks a lot worse than what it really was. But we still have seen him throw better, and he knows he can throw better. And I'm not saying he threw bad. It just wasn't his best game. I mean,
No.
what was it, Toronto, when he went 7 innings into the 8th before he started getting hit around a little bit? I mean, he pitched an absolute gem that night.
Oh, he's been throwing great. This was his one, I don't really want to say hiccup because it was one guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was one guy.
Yep.
You take out that one guy, he gives up 2 earned runs on 3 hits.
Yeah. I think Suarez just got the best of him. And that's what, I think if you ask Grant Holmes right now, I think that's what he would tell you.
I think it don't matter who you put on the mound last night, really. Eugene Suarez was going to hit him.
Yeah.
And, that kind of is going to contradict what we're about to say. But there's a lot of evidence to back up the rest of what we're about to say. Raisel Iglesias. We're just going to have to, I guess, not hide our feelings on this and just let it be known that either he needs to be dropped down to AAA or he needs to be taken out of the closer role.
Yeah.
We're going into the 9th inning last night. We're up 7-6. The Braves have battled back hard.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into the offensive stats here. But the Braves battled back hard. And Suarez is up to the plate. Obviously, everybody knows Suarez went 4 for 4 with 4 home runs last night, 3 of them being Grant Holmes. So you know what he did against Iglesias. He tied the ball game up with a homer.
Yep. And we were sitting here talking about that
We
before the 9th inning. We were sitting on this in this very exact room talking about how we didn't.
We'd like to see
We didn't feel good.
Daysbel Hernandez stay in there for the 9th.
Yep. Even though he had thrown 20 pitches, I think Hernandez has thrown phenomenal this year.
And we kept talking about how Raisel's been blowing saves. He hasn't been doing good. And, baby, I'm going to let you read off these horrible stats.
So, and just before we get into this, let me go ahead and just say, Iglesias has had a very good MLB career.
He has.
He's done great for the Braves. He did great last year. He put up a sub-2 ERA last year for the Braves. Last year, he was that closer that you had that feeling in the mid to early late innings. Okay, just get it to the ninth. Get it to the ninth and we're good.
Yeah, get the ball in his hand.
Because you knew Iglesias was going to come out and he was going to do his job. This year so far, I haven't had that feeling.
No, we've not.
So far this year, he's blown 2 saves, one of those being last night, in 6 opportunities. So he's 4 for 6 in save opportunities, which, depending on who you are, might not sound too bad. To me, that's not great. Especially when, what was it? Sunday? Was it Sunday against the Twins when he gave up 3 runs?
Yes.
Yep. But anyway, so back to Iglesias. So far this year, he's posted a 6.30 ERA in 10 innings pitched. He's given up 9 hits, 5 of those being home runs, 7 runs, again, 5 of those being home runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, with only a 1.10 whip. And I know we explained this in a previous video, but for those of you that are listening to us for the first time, if you don't know what whip is, that's your walks and hits per inning pitched. So basically, he's averaging only 1.1 base runners per inning pitched, which is that's pretty good. That's a good whip at the major league level. So when you look at that, and you look at, oh wow, he's got a low whip and he's not walking a lot of people, but he's got a 6.3 ERA. How does that work? Well, it's because he's given up 5 home runs in 10 innings. So he's averaging not just 1 hit every other inning. He's averaging 1 home run every other inning.
Yeah, 1 run allowed, almost.
Yeah, so essentially 1 run allowed every other inning without the other hits or walks even bothering him. So far, that's his stat line for 2025. Compared to 2024, when he was 34 for 38 in save opportunities, posting a 1.95 ERA in 69 innings and a third, giving up only 19 runs, 38 hits, 13 walks, and only 4 home runs. So in about a month, the first month of this year, he's given up more home runs than he did all last year. And I know over the last couple of weeks we've talked a little bit, or not a little bit, a decent amount about the game getting younger. So is Iglesias' age of 35 a discussion right now? I mean, we just got done talking about a 36-year-old in Chris Sale and how he hasn't been off to his greatest start this year.
And he could just be in that same boat as Chris Sale. He's changed up something a little bit different that's causing him to get hit.
Yeah.
Or the evidence is pointing towards their age just might be getting to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it could be, like you just said, it could be something he's changed. Maybe he's, just tweaked a little bit of an adjustment. I don't know, but either way, right now he's getting hit. Bottom line, he's getting hit.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In our current situation, because of that 0-7 start, we don't have the luxury of letting him go out there and try to figure it out.
That's exactly right.
Because you take away that 0-7 start, we're a 12-8 ball club right now. Perfect 600 average.
Yep.
We're not right now. We're a losing ball club. After last night, or after today's game, we're 12-15.
Yeah.
Ball club. We don't have the opportunity to go out there and give him a little bit of a leash.
Yeah.
He has no leash at this point. He's on a choke collar, grabbed at the collar, and we got to get it figured out.
Yeah.
So we either need to figure out a new closer, or we need to send him down.
Yeah. And I think, with how well he has pitched, not only for the Braves, but in his career, because you got to remember, he's a career 2.92 ERA pitcher with an 87% save rate, meaning
he's had a great career.
Almost pretty much out of every 10 save opportunities, he's closing almost 9 of them. That's great. So he's had a great career. I'm going to go ahead and congratulate him on a great career. Not sure how long He's going to continue to pitch maybe a few more years, whatever. But right now, he is not producing his best outings. And just like Sale, that's a little frustrating because we know how well he can pitch. We know how good of a pitcher he is. So is it one of those things where it's just kind of a little funk that he's in? Does he need to see, a little bit of a different scenery, maybe go into the middle innings for a little bit and just kind of do some setup innings, kind of get his confidence up, maybe even go down, whatever. I don't know. That's something for Snicker in the front office to figure out, but you can't give him but so many more opportunities. In another game that is not even added to his 6 save opportunities so far is the loss he got against the Dodgers, giving up a home run against Shohei Ohtani. Mm-hmm. Even though that was not a safe situation because that was a tie ball game, it was still an inning that he was called on to hold the game and get them in extra innings, and he just couldn't do it. And I'm not trying to sit here and pick him apart, but you have to remember when you're a closer, the one inning you throw every other day, every 3 days, whatever it is, the one inning you throw is scrutinized so much more than that one inning of a starter where they gave up 3 runs in the first or second inning. Yeah. Because you've got the whole game to come back from it. But that's why you're the closer. That's why you get paid the big bucks to throw 50, 60 innings a year. So that's what comes with. That's the nature of the beast.
And even though he had the blown save last night, he still got the win.
Yeah, he did.
Because thank the Lord, the Braves bats decided to turn on last night. And as always, the 8th inning.
Yep.
We had 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 walks last night in the win, making it our first official road series win of the year.
Yep.
It's the first time we've won a road series all year long.
I didn't even catch that until you told me before we started this episode.
I know.
hadn't even caught that.
Well, I got thinking about it, and I was like, what if we won on the road so far? And we hadn't.
Yeah.
This was it.
Yep. Yeah.
Harris, Albies, and Ozuna all had 2 hits. Ozuna and Murphy both went deep. I kind of feel like we say that a lot. Murphy went deep.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
But that was good. That was a very big win. We were sitting here watching it. That big hit from Harris out to center field, scored a couple runs. That was huge. And then you got a runner on base and you got putting pressure on the pitcher. Man on third, he throws a wild pitch, scores the run, and then Dylan Lee comes in and does his job, gets his first career save last night. Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah, first career save.
First career save, and Hernandez, Days Bell, as he got the hold.
Yep.
So that was his 3rd hold of the season. And then Austin Riley over there at third base with that big arm of his went the full length of the infield, giving it everything he had to get the runner out, which was originally called safe.
Yeah, but about 6 bounces to
get
there?
Yeah, no kidding. He about spiked it, but it got
man.
there. But in smart coaching, we held our challenge until the very end when it mattered. And it did because he was clearly out. Call got overturned. Braves win. Going into that, Game 3 was not smart coaching. We wasted our challenge on the second out of the ball game with Verdugo getting thrown out at home. Yes, we can sit here and scrutinize and argue and say, well, his pinky got in there. Well, unfortunately, it's got to be indisputable.
Yeah.
And it won't indisputable. I'm going to look at you biasly and say, of course his pinky got in there. It's clear as day. But it's not.
And I think that's an
an
early challenge like that, and obviously Snit knows this, and the guys in the dugout know this. You're not using a challenge early in the game in the top of the first, mind you, unless you know you're going to win that challenge. So something kind of tells me they really believe they were going to win that challenge, and they were going to retain theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you're taking a gamble on a challenge like that the first inning and not believing you're going to win it.
Like I said, he was safe.
Yeah.
But it's that indisputable word.
Yeah.
that all it takes is one guy to go, well, you can't really tell right here because the glove, you can't tell exactly
Yep.
where it's at because this angle was being blocked by the ump's mask, so you can't tell when the glove starts to touch him right here.
Right.
We can see the hands on there, but is the glove already touching him in the frame before?
Yep.
But the
And if
truthfully,
there's
the
any
umpire's
question,
mask was blocking it, you couldn't see it.
and if there's any question about it, you can't overturn it.
Yeah.
Whether it's an out call at first, a force, a tag, whatever. If there's not, indisputable evidence, or if there's any doubt at all, the call is going to stand, no matter what game it is. But today, Schwellenbach went 6 innings, giving up 7 hits, 1 walk, so he allowed 8 base runners total. He allowed 4 runs total, with only 3 of them being earned. I know he's probably a little frustrated with himself on that.
He
on that
did
error.
collect the loss, his
Yep.
second loss of the year, in the 4-6 loss.
Yep. Bullpen allowed 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 walk. Doogie.
My man Verdugo.
This might be the best part about today.
It definitely, because the rest of it was not.
Yeah, I mean, a 6-4 loss, you gotta, get kicked in the teeth a little bit. But Doogie went a perfect 4 for 4. That's his second 4-hit game since joining the Braves.
And it's only his 8th game played.
Yep.
Man,
8 games.
Man has 12 hits in 8 games.
Yep. I think we've found that piece that we were talking about a
Yes.
couple weeks ago, and that was something that we had actually mentioned. How long were they going to keep him in Gwinnett before they gave him a chance? And I think he's pretty much told them, you should have gave me a chance 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Because he's lighting the ball up.
And I think Verdugo has been another veteran presence to help in the dugout, in the clubhouse, but not the veteran that, I'm the veteran, listen to me, this is the guy. This has been a guy that's like, hey, I am a veteran, and I'm going to let y'all see what I can do and not try to come up in here like, I've been doing this forever, y'all listen to me.
Blah, blah,
I'm going
blah.
to show
Yep.
y'all
Yep.
that I'm here to play, I'm here to help y'all win, and I'm going to help y'all learn if I can. If
Right.
not, fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to come in here being flashy. I'm going to come in here and let my bat do the talking. And he has.
Yeah. And I mean, so he got 4 of our 11 hits today. So I mean, not a terrible game at the plate for the team. I mean, we did get 11 hits and 4 walks. We had 15 base runners in the game as a total.
But only 4 of 15 with runners in scoring position. And
Yeah.
of those 15 base runners, 10 of them got left on base.
Yeah. I mean, 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position is not. That's not bad. I mean, that's almost, going 1 for every 3. So that's not bad. But there were a couple innings today that we didn't execute when we needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Being the first inning when
Most notably.
Verdugo was thrown out at the plate. So we got a catch on the play. He's thrown out at the plate. So we go from
Second
No
and
outs.
third, no outs.
to now we've got 2 outs and a man on second.
Yes.
So obviously we didn't score in the first inning there. And then another big inning was in the 7th. You've got no outs.
Runner on second and third.
Runners on second and third. And you've got Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, and Matt Olson coming to the play. You're thinking, okay, we're for sure at least going to get 1 back here.
And bear in mind, the bottom of our lineup had already scored 2 that inning.
Yep.
So the bottom of our lineup had produced.
Yep. Which they have been.
They have been.
They have been. So Riley struck out. Ozuna struck out as well. Olson was able to work a walk. And then Ozzie popped up to end the inning. So, I mean, we had opportunities today to bail Schwelly out of that loss and to bail the bullpen out, even though they hadn't given up those 2 runs in the 7th inning yet. But, or was it the 8th?
It was the 7th inning.
Bottom of the 7th, right after
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
And
That's right.
I will say, though, the bottom of the 7th where he scored those 2 runs shouldn't have been scored. The guy clearly swung. His wrist even broke.
Yeah.
But they called it a non-swing, which then led to him getting on base.
Was that with 2 outs?
That was with 2
That
outs.
was okay. I was thinking it was. I couldn't remember though. But so that's that's another thing. That's kind of the name of the game. Sometimes the calls don't go your way. Even without getting that call, still allowed 6 runs. We lost by 2 runs. If Verdugo's called safe at the plate, if we execute in the 7th inning and score at least a run with no outs, 6-6 ball game going to the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah.
So we definitely had our opportunities today, but overall, Arizona just beat us.
They did.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. But looking good though. Still got a series win today. That's the 3rd in a row, like we mentioned. So we're 7 for our last 9. Got a sweep last weekend against the Twins. Went 2 for 3 against Cardinals, and then 2 for 3 against Arizona. Going into a series tomorrow in Colorado. Before we finish the month of April, we're 3 games below 500. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're coming up the mountain. We're about to crest over the top, and then we're going to come back down, and we're gonna keep going at it.
In addition to our bullpen, we got an addition today. We got an old Brave back, Ian Anderson. We picked him up on waivers.
World Series hero right there.
Yeah, big old World Series hero. We picked up. It seems to be a running trend with AA, trading guys and then picking them back up when they get DFA'd. It's like he knows that they're going to do bad for other teams, so we get something out of them and then go back and get them again. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. So we're supposedly, according to Mark Bowman, beat writer, he's supposed to be with the team tomorrow, and we should see him coming out of the pen in Colorado on Monday, which is tomorrow. But the last 5 games we've talked about with the bullpen, we're going to go ahead and nip this in the bud right here, right now.
Yeah, because I think not just me, but both of us, we've seen a lot of shade being thrown at our bullpen here lately, pretty much all year. And we have acknowledged that we did have some questions about the bullpen before the season started, but I think, in my opinion, and I think I'm speaking for both of us, the bullpen has done their job so far this year, and I'm content with them. I'm very pleased with them.
In the last 5 games, giving up 19 in the 3rd inning pitched, 12 runs. Now, the first ERA I'm about to give you is including that bullpen game. And that's a bullpen game. So that means a whole game is given to the bullpen. We have a 5.58 ERA. You take that game out, the last 4 games, the bullpen has given up a 2.7 ERA with only 16 hits. And what was it, 6 runs? No,
that would have been 4. Yeah, because they gave up 8 runs that game.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're at 4 runs in the last 4 games. So yeah, pretty much one run a game.
Yeah, with a 1.39 or 1.05 WHIP and a 8.84 K per 9. Our rotation in that last 4 games, the starting rotation, has a 4.98 ERA. So for everyone out there going at our bullpen, the stats speak for themselves. The bullpen is doing its job. The people that ain't doing their job, even though they finally started to do their job here lately, is mainly the offense.
Yeah. And I kind of don't want to say that, but it is what it is. Just
it's the truth.
It is the truth. The offense is definitely playing a lot better. We're hitting a lot better. I think our team batting average has risen like 65 points in the last 3 weeks. I mean, that's pretty significant. But just like when we were talking about Iglesias and his trouble so far this year, he's scrutinized for that 1 inning. A bullpen is scrutinized for those 2-3 innings. If they give up 2 runs and we lose by one run, well, you're going to go after the bullpen.
Yeah.
You're not going to go after Chris Sale. They gave up 3 runs. You're not going to go after Grant Holmes. They give up 6 runs because that happened earlier in the game. You're going to go after the guy that gave up the runs late. And even though that guy is probably not satisfied with his outing, I mean, are we just going to ignore the fact that our rotation hasn't been the best so far this year?
And ignore the fact that we left 10 guys on base today?
Exactly.
That could have scored?
Exactly. Or went 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position earlier this week. So there's plenty of blame to go around, but to sit around constantly and just say we have no bullpen, AA needs to make some moves. I'm not buying that. Yes, AA needs to make some moves, but in my opinion, it's not in the bullpen.
No, and we ain't standing for it. So Mark Bowman, the same beat writer that we told you about earlier, you're wrong too, buddy.
Yeah, I don't, and I think he writes some really good stuff. I like a lot of the stuff he writes, and I enjoy reading it. But the whole thing about the bullpen,
Don't slander my bullpen.
I don't, I really don't like it because it hasn't just been one guy that's thrown lights out and has just made everybody else look good. I mean,
For the most part.
Montero's had some hiccups. Dylan Lee's had some hiccups. Aaron Bummer's had some hiccups. All of them have had bad outings.
Yeah.
But overall, as a bullpen staff, they've thrown great.
They're the best part of our team.
I agree. I agree 100%. They've kept us in a lot of games so far. They've held us and given us some wins so far. I think with the bullpen not throwing, if the bullpen wasn't throwing the way they have been, I don't think we've got 12 wins. I think we've got maybe 7 or 8. So, in my opinion, the whole crap, trash in the bullpen, that they can go tell somebody else that because I'm not buying it.
We ain't standing for it.
But talking about the bullpen splits, our offensive splits for the last 5 games. So on game 2 against St. Louis, we went 8 for 35. This was the bullpen game. We went 8 for 35, 2 for 12 with runners in scoring positions. Game 3 against St. Louis, we got 11 hits, going 2 for 7 runners in scoring position. Game 1 on Friday in Arizona, we went 11 for 38. So back-to-back games with double-digit hits for the team. That's good. That's very good to see. Anytime you get double-digit hits as a team, you're feeling good. You're feeling good about how you're hitting the ball. But Friday, even though we got the same amount of hits as we did the day before, we went 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That's great.
Yeah.
You're going to score runs anytime you're anytime you're getting hits with guys on base, specifically in runners in scoring position, you're going to score runs and you're going to win ball games. And we did because we put up 8 runs against Arizona.
Yeah.
9 for 38 on Saturday, going 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. 11 for 36 today. 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. And both of those numbers are not bad at all. That's another double-digit day at the plate for the team. They're going 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position, which I think is around 265-ish of an average for the day with runners in scoring position. But we got 4 runs. We didn't really have that big hit that, scored 2 or scored 3 or a big home run. We got the runs we could, and Arizona just got more. That, it happens. But of the last 5 games, the Braves are batting .276 as a team and .303 with runners in scoring position. So this is a tremendous jump compared to what we saw 3 weeks ago at the start of the season. I mean, they're coming around as a team. They're hitting a lot better, and it's shown this past week.
Yeah. Today's game, obviously, we hit the ball well. We did. The only problem is when we hit the ball well, we didn't have people on base.
Yeah.
When we got the people on base, we forgot how to hit. Plain and simple. And that's why I'm going to leave that at that, and we're going to look forward to this coming series with the Rockies starting tomorrow. One thing I want to touch on, because this is our last series in the month of April.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what comes May? We get Acuna back.
Oh, I was going to say Mother's Day, but yeah, that too.
Mother's Day. Yeah, celebrate your mothers out there. But Acuna comes back, which leads to the question we kind of talked about, and we kind of want to ask y'all's opinion on this too. When Acuna comes back, do we like him batting leadoff, or do we want to leave Verdugo in the leadoff spot?
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to what we had talked about a few episodes ago about Snitker. With the roster we have, he's got so many different options.
He does.
Any given day, you can see a range of 3 to 4 guys batting leadoff. You can see a range of 3 to 4 guys hitting second, 3 to 4 different guys hitting third, 3 to 4 guys hitting cleanup. I mean, all the way down the lineup. I mean, you've got Harris, you've got Albies, you've got Riley that's been batting in the 2 hole and who's done exceptionally well in that spot. I know earlier in his career we saw Acuna batting third a little bit. He's been batting leadoff for the last few years mainly because he can run. And he's such a threat when he steps in the box that's the kind of go-to punch you're throwing whenever you put a guy like that in the box to lead off a game. You mentioned earlier today that you'd like to see Verdugo there.
I would, just for the RBI factor.
Yeah, I really like that because I do think that would give Acuna a lot more RBIs.
With the way Verdugo's hitting right now, it's obvious he's going to get on base.
Yeah.
And that gives Acuna a lot more opportunity because he's been our RBI leader, for the past 3 years?
Who?
Acuna.
Nah, I don't know about that. I mean, Olsen had, 140 last year?
Okay, well, on average, Acuna's been our team-leading RBI, batting leadoff.
Mm-hmm.
Batting leadoff, and close the years he's not. You give him a guy like Verdugo that's going to get on base in front of him, his RBIs are going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing about having Verdugo and then Acuna, if you were to put Acuna in the 2 hole, I don't know. I think we'll either see Acuna in leadoff or batting third. But if for some reason you did go Verdugo, Acuna, then Riley, the only bad thing about having Verdugo in front of Acuna is
Speed killer.
It's a speed killer. Anytime Verdugo's only one base ahead of Acuna, now you've taken away that tool of him being able to steal, which pitching staffs are going to eat up. Because now if you've got Verdugo who's hit a leadoff double, they're going to pitch around Acuna. Because if they walk him, they know he's not going to steal. Because Verdugo's definitely not going to steal third. So I think that's the only bad part about that scenario. But it's obvious Snicker's not afraid to try it. We may see it and it may work great. Or we may see it and it may not work. But I think it's likely that we'll probably see Acuna in the leadoff position. I think that's just where he's bred to be at. He's such a threat anytime he gets to the plate. I'm ready to see him back and healthy.
Me too. I'm ready to see what the team looks like when he comes back. If we can get past, and they've handled everything in the clubhouse with that one little problem we had.
Mm-hmm.
Past that, but I'm going into April. I was not very optimistic. It's the best word I can use there. But now, leaving April, we've got a winning record in April.
Mm-hmm.
In the month of April, we got a winning record.
Yep.
We are going. If we sweep the series, we are tied 15-15 after a 0-7 start going into May at 500 Ball Club.
Yep.
And if you'd asked me that at the beginning of April, I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now there was a couple times earlier in this month where I kind of thought we'd be flirting with 500 right now because, I mean, you're talking about the Toronto series, which I believe we should have won. You're talking about the Tampa Bay series that I believe we should have won. You're talking about the rainout game against the Marlins, which I think we had a good chance of winning. There's been opportunities this month already to where we could be closer to 500 than the 3 games that we are.
Well,
so we've turned it on.
It's like the Padres and Dodgers series. There was a bunch of games where we should have won.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, and that's kind of where I was scared. A lot of these games we're watching, we should win this game. Well, are we going to do what we've done and screw these games up?
Yeah. Well, and going back to the whole Verdugo addition and where he's going to fall whenever Acuna comes back, he has done probably the best job that he could do with the opportunity he was given. They brought him on with a minor league contract, knowing he's a left fielder. Going into the season, it was pretty certain that Jurickson Profar was going to be the starting left fielder. Well, now he's gone.
Yeah. He's
going to be back later this year. He's not going to be eligible for the postseason. All he can do is help us get to the postseason and take his licks. But Verdugo, he's exceeded expectations in my opinion, and I think that's good for the team to see because when the whole Profar situation came out, everybody was like, okay, well that sucks because now we were dependent on this guy to be a catalyst in our lineup. and now we don't have him. But then Verdugo steps in and he's like, "Hey, watch this," like you were just saying a few minutes ago.
And I kind of feel like Verdugo's kind of like Nick Allen. He just loves the game of baseball and loves to play it.
Yep.
And he's going, let me show you what I can do and why I deserve to be right here.
Yep. I think he's doing what we expected Profar to do. Top of the lineup, left fielder. I think we're seeing what we plan to see from our left fielder this year. I just think it's a different name, different number, different
guy,
just different player. But he's producing right now. We want him to keep producing. We want the entire team to keep producing. The bats have come alive. Pitching's going to get there. I think we're gonna surprise some people. The one thing I'm holding on to this year is the fact that no team starting out 0-7 has ever made the postseason,
except the Braves.
I'm holding on. I'm holding on to that.
Me and you both.
Not only do I hope we make the postseason, I hope that they turn it on so good that they put pressure on the Mets. And we know that with any pressure, the Mets are going to Met.
Yeah, Mets are going to Met.
Mets are going to Met. Phillies, they're playing pretty good baseball right now. I think in their eyes they're struggling right now, but it's going to be a really tight division race this year. The Mets, Phillies, Braves, any of those three teams can win the division. But obviously we're pulling for the Bravos. We think they're going to pull it out.
We believe. We believe. That's one thing that hasn't faltered. We have believed that we can turn it around. There's been times we've been scared, we may not. But we've never lost hope.
Yeah. Well, and the season's so long, you have to – everybody's going to have that one little losing streak where it kind of, it hurts a little bit. And the Braves just happen to have that one losing streak the very beginning of the year. So it kind of looked a little worse than what it was because every team's going to go through that week and a half where they're just not playing very good.
We've just yet to be above a 500 ball club this season so far, and that's the bad part.
But we got Bryce Elder on the mound tomorrow against Colorado. We want him to keep showing us what he threw earlier this week, and just got to keep winning the series, and then you'll get closer to 500. We at least win the series in Colorado. Then we're a 14-16 ball club going into May. Then we've got the Dodgers next weekend at home. Sunday night baseball on ESPN next Sunday, 7:00. So that's gonna be a big series. Hopefully we can get some payback from the first week of the season.
We need some big payback. We need to let them know that hey, we didn't have our team, we didn't have our guys. Now we're a ball club. Now try us.
Yep, that's right. But I believe that's all we've got for this episode. Probably gonna get back with y'all later on this coming week. Like always, we appreciate y'all listening. We've enjoyed it. We're going to keep enjoying it. And this has been another episode of Chop Talk by the Fan for the Fan. Appreciate it, guys.
See y'all later.